Hi everyone, I'm Kate. I'm an English teacher here on Verbling. And today's class is for intermediate learners, and it is about the first and second conditionals. So conditional sentences are usually a challenge for English learners, but once you sort of start to understand the structure, they get easier. And so today we'll be practicing the first and second conditionals. I'll review the grammar behind them, written exercises, so some exercises that focus on the grammar, and then we'll practice again with speaking. So welcome to everyone who's here so far. Hi, Ali.
Hi, Kate.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. And hello, Eva.
Hi, nice to see you.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you very much. And yes, I know that you're okay.
Good. Okay. And Eva, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Germany, but I'm Hungarian.
You're calling from Germany, but you're Hungarian. Okay. And do you live in Germany?
Yes, yes, with my partner, we live here in Bonn.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. So welcome. I think this is your first class with me, right, Eva?
Yes, okay. I think I was your classes, but this will be the first.
Okay. All right, great. Nice to have you here. Okay. And hi, Matt. Nice to see you.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's okay. It's okay. Nice.
Good.
Nice to see you again.
Yes. Nice to see you again. What's new?
Yesterday came back my vacation.
You came back from vacation. How nice. Good.
Okay.
Good. Okay. And welcome, Mirza.
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing well. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Pakistan, but now I'm in Dubai.
In Dubai. Okay. So you're from Pakistan but living in Dubai. Okay. And so I see you said in the chat that it's very hot there.
Yeah, it's very hot.
Like what's the temperature today, for instance?
Like 47. Today is 47 temperature.
47?
Yes.
My gosh. That's really hot.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you have air conditioning?
Yes, I have. Because I can't live without air conditioning.
Yeah, I think you might die without air conditioning there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. So have all of you been in class with one another? Have you met each other? I know. Let's see. Ali and Matt, you've met before, I'm sure. Yes.
We know each other.
Yes, you know each other. Eva and Mirza, have you met the rest of your classmates before?
No, I met first time.
The first time. Okay, good. All right. So and we have some new people joining. So let's see. Welcome to Daniel and Raphael. Daniel, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, teacher. Yes, my name is Daniel. I am from Slovakia. I don't know. I like sports.
Cool. Okay. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay. Good. So we have Daniel from Slovakia, and hi, Raphael.
My name is Rafael. I am from Spain. I have to work, and I am working now. I would like to stay on holiday.
You're working, and okay, so.
Nice to meet you, everybody.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you're not on vacation.
No, I am not on vacation.
Not on vacation. Okay. Good. Or not good. I'm sorry about that. Okay. All right, and then we have. Let's see. Thayer.
Yes. Yes. Hi, teacher. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You hear me?
Yes, how do you say your name?
I think my name, it is so difficult to say because it is Arabic name, but TH like voice, TH and like air. So you mix it, Thair.
Thair.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. And Thair, where are you from?
I'm from Iraq, south of Iraq.
Very
Basra city.
interesting. Okay, great. And welcome, Vincenzo.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Doing very well. How about you?
Fine, thanks.
Good. And I think we have a full class now. Hi, Marco.
Hello.
Okay. So I'll sort of give you the plan for today's class before we get started. So so again, for those of you who I haven't met before, I'm Kate from the United States. Today's class is about the first and second conditionals. So so essentially what we'll do today is I will introduce the grammar. So we'll sort of review the structures or introduce the structures for those of you for whom this is your first experience with first and second conditionals. Then we'll do some exercises, so sort of more grammar to make sure that you understand which tenses and things like that. And then towards the end of class, we'll practice some speaking activities using the first and second conditionals. Okay, so you get more exposure to these grammar topics in a personal context. Okay, so before we look at the grammar, who has studied? I know some of you have studied conditionals with me before, but can anyone tell me what is a conditional sentence?
For example, if I am speaking.
Go ahead.
For example, when something is happening, if other thing is happening also.
Right.
For example, if it is raining, I would take an umbrella. So I only take an umbrella if something happens. What happens is it is raining.
Yeah, good. So, or even more simply, if it rains, I will take an umbrella. Okay, so Raphael's sentence is a great example of a first conditional sentence, right? And as he said, we have a condition and an effect, right? So in a conditional sentence, there will always be two parts. We will have an if clause, which in this sentence is if it rains, and then we will have a main clause, which in this sentence is I will take an umbrella. A question for the class. Is this a sentence by itself? If it rains. Is this a sentence?
No.
No, right?
No.
This isn't a sentence. What about this? I will take an umbrella.
Yeah, this is a sentence.
This is a sentence.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So just to show you, that's why this is the main clause, right? It can stand alone. Okay. All right. So this is an example of a conditional sentence. It's the first conditional. So let me share my screen and we'll go over the grammar behind these sentences. Hold on one second. Okay, can everyone see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
great. All right, so so the first conditional. So as Raphael said, you know, Raphael's example was actually very simple to the first example we'll be looking at. So so if you'll notice, in the two example sentences, we have an if clause and a main clause. So can someone read these two examples for me? Can someone read those?
Yes. Can I?
Go ahead.
Can I?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If the weather is nice, we will go for a walk. And If you don't apologize, she will never trust you again.
Good. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So, so let's look at the tenses in these sentences. So, in the if clause, we have a verb, and that verb is in the present simple, always. So it can be positive, like in the first sentence, or negative, like in the second sentence. But if we're talking about the first conditional, we want to use the present simple.
Yes.
In the main clause, the part that can be a sentence by itself, we'll be using the future simple. So will plus the infinitive, right? A question. Can I change the order of these sentences? So, for instance.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So this is and what do I have to? So yes, I can change the order. I can put the main clause first and the if clause second. Okay. These two sentences have the exact same meaning. This does not change the meaning, and it's absolutely correct. Okay?
Yes.
Great. All right, and so the future conditional, when do we use it? Well, we use it to talk about the present and future, and it's used to express possible conditions and probable results. Right? So looking back at Raphael's sentence, if it rains, this is a possible condition, right? It might rain, it might not. If it does rain, the probable result, the thing that I will do on that condition is I will take an umbrella.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So only, yeah, good. It's like if A happens, I will do B. Okay? So these are for realistic, possible, probable situations. Okay? Now, look at an example of the second conditional. So this here is like a scenario, and this is to describe kind of the background, and this is a conditional sentence related to that scenario. So, can someone read this page, please?
Yeah, teacher, can I?
Go ahead.
Jack wants to buy a house, but he can't do this because he doesn't have any money. If I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house.
Okay, great, thank you. So, so looking here, this is a second conditional, right? We're talking about an unrealistic or hypothetical situation, right? So, so let's look at a second conditional sentence. If I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house. What verb tense are we using in the if clause? Does anyone know?
Past simple.
The past simple. Excellent. Okay, and in the main clause?
Conditional.
Yeah, it's like the conditional would. So essentially, it's would plus the infinitive. But note that it is not would to buy. It's simply would buy.
Yes.
So it's the infinitive without to. Okay. So so here's another example. Can someone else read this?
Susan wants to phone Paul, but she can't do this because she doesn't know his number. If I knew his number, I would phone him.
Right? Okay. So so Susan does not know Paul's number, so she cannot phone him. But she's imagining a hypothetical situation, right, in the present or future, where if she didn't know his number, this is what she would do. So looking at the structure again, as we said, we have the past tense in the if clause and the would plus infinitive in the main clause. Again, can I change the order? Can I say I would phone him if I knew his number?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely correct. It means the same thing. So can I have someone read this description here? This is very important about the second conditional.
Okay,
The
can
second,
I?
okay, okay.
All right, go ahead, Eva.
The second conditional refers to the present and future. It expresses an unreal situation and its probable result. The situation or condition is improbable, impossible, imaginary, or contrary to known facts.
Okay, great. So, thank you. So, basically, the difference between the first and second conditional. The first conditional is talking about real situations and probable results, right? Things that are very likely or probable to happen in the future. But the second conditional, even though we're still talking about the present and future, we're now talking about hypothetical or unreal situations. Okay, so these are things that realistically cannot or will not happen. Okay, any questions so far?
No.
Okay, let's look at the difference between first and second conditional. So, so can someone read this sentence and this sentence, please?
If John runs fast, he will win the race. This
Good.
is still possible to happen. If John ran fast, he would win the race. This is unlikely to happen because John doesn't run fast.
Okay, great. So again, here I think this is a clear example of how we use the first conditional and the second conditional differently, right? So in the first sentence, John is, do you think John is a good runner or a bad runner?
He's bad runner.
He's a bad runner? In this sentence?
No, this is
We
a real
don't know.
situation, so he can
we
run
don't know.
fast.
Yes, so there's the first, we don't know.
The first one? Okay, so the first one, he's probably
Probably,
pretty good, right? Because we're saying, you know, if he runs fast, if he performs well, he might actually win the race, right? So he's probably a pretty strong runner, right? And if he performs as best as he can, then he will win the race. But in the second sentence, okay, in the second sentence, do we think John is probably a strong, good runner or a bad runner?
A
Bad
bad runner.
Yeah, maybe he's probably not as good of a runner, right? He is either slow or lazy,
Yes.
right?
because-
We
yes. Perhaps
think-
we can.
Go ahead.
Perhaps we can correct the second sentence. This is unlikely to happen because John didn't run fast.
This means, so here the doesn't is talking about John in general, right? So so remember we're not talking about the past, right? We're still talking about the present and future. So we don't want to change this to didn't, but I see what you mean, right? What we're saying is maybe you're thinking about historically.
Yes.
We know John. John normally doesn't run fast. He's lazy, right? So we're imagining the very unlikely situation, right, in which John runs fast and wins the race. But we don't think it's very likely.
As you say, yes, we know already John.
Yeah, we know what John is like, right?
Okay, yes.
Here, he's a hard worker or he's fast, right? With the first conditional, here, he's probably not quite as strong.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Questions about that?
No.
Okay. So, no question. Okay, so it seems like a lot of you know this well, right? You've learned this before. either in Verbling classes or elsewhere. So I'm sorry if that was slow for you, but now I want to jump into this practice. Okay, so I think what we'll actually do first is we'll practice the first conditional and the second conditional separately, and then we'll practice distinguishing between these two conditionals. So again, let's go over this. So what is the first conditional used for? Again, who can tell me?
To real situation.
For real.
Are true.
Yeah, so for real or
possibility. Possible.
Real, possible, or probable situations. And what is the structure?
Present, my future.
And the future.
Main sentence with present, simple future, and the if part with simple present.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. Okay, so if plus subject plus present simple, comma, then the main clause is the subject and a verb in the simple future. Okay, so to practice using the first conditional, I want you to imagine something a little bit strange. I want you to imagine that aliens have come to Earth and they need some general advice about living on their new planet. Okay? So I want you to give these aliens some helpful knowledge about the Earth. So for instance, I might say, if you press the button on the right of the computer will turn on. Or if you go to the beach without sunscreen, you will get a sunburn. Okay, so I want you to give me some more. These are all first conditional sentences. I want you to give me some more first conditional sentences so we can make sort of an orientation guidebook for these aliens coming to Earth. Okay? Questions about that assignment?
Noted.
Was that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So again, so my example was what was my example? If you go to the beach without sunscreen, you will get sunburned, right? So what are some other things that we can tell these aliens using the first conditional?
If you eat too much, you will get fat.
Good. Excellent, right? So maybe these aliens are not used to the delicious food of Earth, right? And so you have to remind them, if you eat too much, you will get fat. Okay, so a likely thing, or a possible condition, and a probable result. Great. Okay, other advice.
If you drive in England, you will keep left side.
Yeah, or maybe you will have to keep left. You will have to keep left. Great. And try to vary the structure as well. So try the main clause first. So these can be about anything from, are you having trouble hearing me?
Yes.
Yes, sometimes.
Sorry, class. Okay. Sorry, I'm not sure what's happening. I think my connection is a little bit off today.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so So does anyone have more suggestions?
Yes, for example,
Okay.
if you drive faster than 120 kilometers per hour in Spain, you will get fine. You will get a fine. A fine. Is that okay? I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I think teacher's connection, internet connection problem.
Yeah.
Kate? Lost teacher?
Yeah.
Hello, Kalti? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Probably we can hear you, but now we lost the teacher.
Yes, we lost our teacher.
Yes, some problems with
we wait. Come back, teacher.
Come back.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's gone. If she's not come back, we won't complete the class.
Okay, good. Kate?
Class, can you hear me? Hi, sorry about that. Okay.
No problem.
Can everyone hear me? Okay.
Yes,
I
yes.
think I'm. Okay, good. I think I'm having a connection. So let's see. Who was talking? So I heard. So the last one was if you drive over 120 kilometers an hour, you will get fined. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. And then Mirza, why don't you read your sentence?
If you too much sleep, you will get headache. This is right.
Good. Almost perfect.
Yes.
If you get too much sleep, you will get a headache. Right?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
if you sleep too much.
Yes.
Okay. I think that you can never sleep too much.
Actually, this has happened to me.
Does this happen to you?
Yes, yes. Every weekend this has happened to me.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like if I sleep too little, I get a headache.
Yeah.
So the opposite. But
Okay. Okay.
I guess it depends.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay, Matt, why don't you read your sentence?
If you need money, you will go in an ATM machine.
Okay, good. So if you need money, you will go, or you will have to go to an ATM machine. Good.
Okay.
Great. Anyone else? Okay, Vincenzo has one.
If you don't walk on the sidewalk, you will get run over by cars.
Okay, good. Almost perfect. There is one thing missing from your sentence, Vincenzo.
If you don't walk on the sidewalk, you will get run over by cars.
You know what's missing in the written sentence?
There is you, no?
You, yeah. So if you don't walk on the sidewalk, okay, perfect.
Yes, I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay, great.
And
Absolutely.
comma.
And a comma, yeah. And a comma. Okay, good. All right, yeah?
If you want to speak English, you will go to the word link.
Okay, good. If you want to speak English, you will or let's say you will have to go to Verbling.
Yes.
Okay, good. Very good, Ali. Good. And let's see, Andrea has another one.
Yes, teacher. If you feel too much bad, so you will go to doctor.
Good. Okay, so yeah, if you
Feeling
feel
bad.
if you feel very bad,
Yes.
you will go to the doctor.
Yes.
Good. Okay, great. So yeah, so as you can see, great job with this, right? So these are all first conditional sentences. They're all used to talk about realistic things, right? Things that happen on Earth, okay? So it would seem strange to explain these things to other humans, but for people who don't know them, we would explain these rules, right? Okay, so any questions about the first conditional?
I think no.
No, not.
No? Okay. All right. Yeah, and if you want, okay, Mateo has one more. If you want to drive, you will to take a driver license. Okay. One or two problems with this sentence, Mateo. It's almost perfect. Does anyone know, can anyone see a problem in this sentence?
Without two?
Yeah, that's the main issue, right? If you want to drive, you will get a driver's license.
Ah, okay. I'm wrong verbs. Take, not take, but get.
Yeah, it should be get, but also, more importantly, after will, do not put to, right? It's just will and then the verb without
Okay.
to. Okay, but good.
Ah, okay, okay.
And Eva, yes, that's my fault. I made a mistake typing. It should say, if you feel very bad, not bed, you will go to the doctor. That was a typo. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand.
Good. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Let's look at some exercises on the second conditional. I think with the first conditional, I wanted to just start with the speaking because I felt like you all would be okay with it. But with the second conditional, I'd like to look a little bit at the grammar. So some grammar exercises here. So again, I'm going to share my screen, and we'll look at a couple of exercises on the second conditional. Okay?
Okay.
Let's see, where is this? Okay, now you're seeing my Google Hangouts. That's not helpful, sorry. Where is this? No. Okay, here. All right, so what I want you to look at is, can everyone see this?
Yes.
All right. What I want you to look at is exercise 5 here. Okay?
Okay.
Exercise 5. So this is about the second conditional. Okay? The second conditional only. So can someone read these instructions, please?
Imagine what would happen if the situation was different. Write sentences in the second conditional.
Okay. So we'll do this just together as a group. Okay. Can someone read this example?
I can't contact him because he hasn't got a phone. If he had a phone, I would contact him.
Perfect. Okay. So the first sentence is a situation, right? They will give you a situation or a problem, and then we have to use a second conditional sentence to imagine what we would do in a hypothetical or unrealistic situation, right? So in this example, right, it's impossible for me to contact him, but I'm saying what I would do if things were different. Okay? So so everyone take a minute and read the first sentence. Okay, read the situation and think about how you could use the second conditional to Okay, would you like to try?
Yes, please.
Okay, go ahead.
If I had enough money, I will go to Brazil.
Sorry?
If I had enough money,
Mm-hmm.
I will go Oh, sorry, I would go to Brazil, maybe.
Good. Okay. Yeah. So, or simply, I would go out, right? So, let's see. Where can I type? I'll type this in here. If I had enough money, I would go out, right? Okay. If I had enough money, I would go out. Okay, very good. So let's look at the next one.
We would go out.
Oh, sorry. If we had enough money, we would go out. My
Yeah.
fault. Okay, yeah, absolutely. If we had enough money, we would go out. So again, using the if clause, in the if clause we're using past. In the main clause we're using would and the infinitive. Can
Some money, no? Not enough.
if we had, it could be some. Yeah, it could either is fine. So if we had enough or if we had some, you're right. It couldn't be both.
Yeah.
They have slightly different meanings, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Can someone tell me what this conditional sentence would be if we change the order of the if clause and the main clause?
We would go out if we had enough money.
Perfect. Yeah, simple as that, right? Okay. So, who would like to read the second sentence and try to form a conditional?
Me too. My sister
Okay.
gets bored. My sister gets bored because she doesn't work. If my sister had worked, she won't get bored. She wouldn't get bored.
Okay, so you said, if my sister
Had a job.
Had worked.
You said if my sister had worked, she wouldn't get bored.
She wouldn't get bored.
Okay. Okay, that's almost perfect. But what tense did you use there in the if clause?
I think we have to use the past simple. So if my sister worked,
Yeah.
she wouldn't get bored.
If my sister worked, no, my sister worked.
The rest is perfect. Yeah.
Worked.
Mhm. Yeah. She wouldn't get bored.
She wouldn't get.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, very good. So and so there you just sort of took that one step too far back into the past, right? You were using the past perfect. So we just want to keep it even more simple.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions so far? Okay, so can someone try number 3?
I would like, if I can.
Okay. All right, Eva.
Luke never goes abroad because he hates flying. If Luke loved flying, he would go abroad.
Okay, so if Luke
Loved flying,
he would
goes abroad.
He would go abroad, right? He would go abroad. Do you see why?
Go, okay.
Because even so, in the third person, if you have a would beforehand, right? Even though we don't to the would, this go after would is working as an infinitive, so we can't add an es to it.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So, okay, good. So that's one way to say this. Can anyone think of another way to structure this sentence?
Yes.
Yes.
If we could say, if Luke didn't hate flying, he would go abroad.
Excellent. Yeah, very good. And any other ways?
If
He would go abroad if he didn't hate flying.
Yeah, great. So I was looking for the way we could start the sentence using he, right? So as Ali said, he would go abroad if he didn't hate flying. Right? I'll type that one.
He would go abroad if he didn't hate flying.
Okay. Is everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so I think let's just do one more of these. We'll do number 4. So whoever wants to do number 4, once you've read the sentence, you can just go ahead.
Jan's classmates don't like her because she's very big-headed.
Sorry, does everyone know what big-headed means?
It's the first of the class. No, no. She's a very clever student.
Okay.
No. Okay,
Not quite. Big-headed is, yeah?
Is it so? Is a very clever the first of the class? No.
Smart student.
Huh?
Smart student.
She
No,
might be smart, but she's arrogant. Yeah, so she might be smart, but when we say she's big-headed, it means she thinks she's smart, right? She thinks she's the best.
But
she has a big ego.
Yes. Okay.
She's egotistical. Okay. All right. Okay. So sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Smart.
Okay. So go ahead.
So you can say, Jan, if she wasn't very big-headed, Jan's classmate would like her.
Yeah. Okay. So we would say if she
wasn't very big-headed.
Oh.
She's gone again.
Hello?
Where she exactly?
Teacher left.
or in Iraq, maybe in Iraq.
What is it? Hello, teacher.
I think.
Sorry, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes,
teacher
yes.
net is not good.
Hi. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. All right. So if Jan wasn't or weren't so big-headed, her classmates would like her.
Would like.
Okay. So let me type this. If she wasn't or weren't so big-headed, her classmates would like her. Okay, so everyone, this one is a bit complicated. So so one thing we have to change. The original sentence was, since Jan is very big-headed. Here, when we change it to a conditional, we change the very to so. Right? If she wasn't so big-headed, her classmates would like her. And notice that you can use either wasn't or weren't.
Yes, yes.
Right? Okay, and both are accepted. I tend to use were with the third person in the conditionals, but both are fine, right? So like the classic example is, if I were you, I would da-da-da, right? That's a classic conditional sentence that's used for giving advice. And you can say, if I were you, or if I was you. Okay. Questions? Okay. All right. So
one is more formal than the other. To use was or to use were not? What is the most formal or most common way to say?
I think it depends. For me, with like hearing it as a native speaker, I think were sounds better than was. I think was sounds a bit more informal, but you know, the Oxford English dictionaries say that both are correct. Both are fine.
Okay,
Both are okay. But I prefer were. But that's personal preference completely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So so I want to practice using the conditional sentences, you know, in conversation. Okay. So imagining some hypothetical situations here. Okay. So so I'll pose some questions to the class, and I want you to feel free to answer them using second conditional sentences. Okay? So anyone can answer. So let's start with if you had $1 billion, what would you do?
I would traveling around the world.
I would
Travel around the world.
Good. So the full sentence?
If I were billionaire,
If I
would
were a
travel
billionaire?
around the world.
Perfect, Rafael. Good.
I would like to do business.
Okay, so the full sentence?
If I had $1 million, I would like to do business.
Good.
Yes.
Any others?
If I had $1 billion, I would buy a house near the beach.
I would buy a house near the beach. That sounds nice. Okay, good. Any other comments?
Yes, of course. If I had $1 billion, I would stop working.
Good there. If I had $1 billion, I would stop working. Okay,
Me too,
so we
me
have Mirza who would like to do more business.
Yes,
right?
because we need more money.
$1 billion's not enough.
Yeah, not enough.
Okay.
It's
All right.
finished.
If I were a rich man,
It's
I
finished.
wouldn't have to work hard.
Yeah. Okay. So Ava agrees. So I think Mirza is kind of the only one who would still be working here, right? But yeah, good. I wouldn't have to work hard. And Matt, I would like to, if I had $1 billion, I would like to have a ranch with a lot of horses. Okay, great. Another question. If you stopped learning English, would your life change?
Sorry, can you say again, please?
If you stopped learning English, would your life change?
If I had stopped learning English, I would like learn Germany, maybe.
Okay. So try that again with a second conditional sentence.
Okay.
I heard if I had stopped, but I'm talking about the present or future.
A present.
So I should be using the second conditional. So instead of saying if I had stopped, you'll want to say
yes, if I had stopped learning English. No?
not had. So take out the had.
Okay. If I stop learning English, I would try to another language.
I would try to learn another language.
Okay.
Good, perfect. Great. And so just so you know, the had would make this third conditional. It would set up the sentence for the third conditional, which is about the past. But here, are we talking about the past?
No.
I don't hear you.
So we're not talking about the past.
Okay, yes.
We're talking about the present or future. So it's confusing because even though we're using a verb in the past tense, we're not talking about the past. Okay. Mirza, why don't you read your sentence?
If I stop learning English, I would try to learn Arabic language.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
My life wouldn't change if I stop learning English.
Okay, interesting, Eva. Why do you say that your life wouldn't change?
Because I would like a new job with my perfect English.
Okay, good, good. Okay, and notice everyone that Eva used. She changed the order of her sentence, which is great, right? She said, my life wouldn't change. Right? She put the main clause first. So that's something you can experiment with as well. Okay, Matt, why don't you read your sentence?
If I stop learning English, I couldn't go in United States.
Okay, almost perfect, but stop is in the present tense, right?
Change, not stop. Stop. Past. Stopped.
Past.
Stopped.
Perfect.
If
Yeah.
I stopped learning English, okay.
Good. So if I stopped learning English, I couldn't go to the U.S. Great. And Matt also did something very cool here. He used could instead of would. So this is a variation on the second conditional, right? So you know, we teach the rules in English, and then there are always sort of different ways that we can use them. And so Matt, that was a great use of another sort of alternative second conditional structure.
And when we use first conditional, we can use also should. For example, in this alien situation,
you can
do something.
Right. So like, if it rains, you should take an umbrella.
Okay.
Right. We can use should. We can also use the imperative. Right. If it rains, take an umbrella. Right. That's the implied should. Okay. Very good. Very good question, Eva. Okay. All right. And let's see. We have a lot of other sentences. Great. So Mirza, read yours.
If I stopped learning English, I wouldn't get a job.
Perfect. Right. Good. And then Raphael, yours.
If I stopped learning English, I wouldn't be promoted in my job. Okay, can you hear me?
No.
No, she can't. She can't.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear you. I can't.
Yes, good. I can hear you. Or not.
But teacher, we can't hear you.
You can hear me. Okay.
If she stopped
Lost.
learning, she would
Lost, guys. Lost teacher.
Lost in paradise.
Kate?
Kate.
All right. Sorry. Thank you for your patience. All right. So let's see. Great. I heard your sentence. That was good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I heard you.
Okay. So Raphael, perfect with your sentence. If I stopped learning English, I wouldn't be promoted in my job. That's a great second conditional sentence. Okay?
Hello?
Daniel?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Daniel?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
If I stopped learning English, I would know it very well.
Okay, so can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. So Vincenzo's sentence. Okay, so if I stopped learning English, I wouldn't know. You mean I wouldn't know it very well, right?
No, if I stopped to learn English, I would know it very well.
So you would. Okay. So this is tricky. So you mean if you would stop learning English if you knew it very well?
Yes.
So I think you reversed the order, right? So if I knew English very well, I would stop learning it, right? If I already knew English, if I knew English very well, then I would stop learning it.
Yes.
Right? I think that expresses the idea that you want in a more normal way. Okay, I didn't realize that Daniel was not. Okay, Daniel's in the chat. If I stop, so let's see. Let's look at Daniel's sentence here. If I stop to learn English, I wouldn't work in my job. Let's give him some feedback, class. Is that sentence correct?
No, because the first verbs have to be in the past simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So it should be if I stopped, right?
If I
Instead of stop.
Yes.
And is to learn correct?
Learning.
Learning. Here we have to use the gerund. So if I stopped learning English,
I wouldn't.
I would, yeah. And that's fine. I wouldn't have a job, probably. Okay. All right. Let's see. Any other responses to this question?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
If I stopped learning English, I would get sick.
You would get sick?
Yes, if I stopped. No, it is just it is a hypothetical situation, you know. It is not. You hear me?
Okay, it's a hypothetical situation, you're saying. Okay, all right, got it. Okay, so maybe you would get sick because, you know, English makes you happy, and if you're happy, your immune system is stronger, let's say.
If I stopped learning English, I couldn't talk to you fluently.
Yeah, okay, good, Ali, perfect. So if I stopped learning English, I couldn't talk to you, I couldn't make friends in Burbling, right? Yeah. Okay, good. So we're running out of time. I wanted to get to some more things, but we had a big class today, so I think we'll have to sort of end class here.
No, again.
Again, she left.
Any questions?
No, and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all so much. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry about my connection problems. I'll try to fix those.
No problem.
Okay. All right. So everyone have a good day. I'll see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.